Now that the intro is out of the way, it's time to go over my ideal live-action first movie, Avengers, if Marvel never went bankrupt and had permission to produce rated R content from the starting point, Phase 1, or my Phase 1. I'm going to very quickly go over the actors and actresses I think should be a part of my version of Phase 1, as well as the Marvel characters that should be in Phase 1. Starting with Hulk. My actors, or my choices for the actors who should play Hulk, are Eric Bana, David Duchovny, or Jesse Collins. Eric Bana was doing comedy back in the early 1990s. It may not be available since he wasn't even in America at the time. David Duchovny was involved with the X-Files TV show during that time period and may not be available. And there's Jesse Collins, star of Rin Tin Tin Canine Cop, the television series. My preferred choice would be David Duchovny, but my second choice would be Jesse Collins if David Duchovny wasn't available. Punisher. The original 80s live-action Punisher movie starred Dolph Lundgren. He was okay, I have no issues with him, but I would prefer Steven Seagal, given that Steven Seagal has an Italian background and lots of action movies that he's completed during that time period. I think would make him a perfect choice for the role of Punisher, given that Punisher is an Italian action character. I like to talk about my favorite television, the Sony Brava 3. It comes with Google Assistants, which could be operated by your voice to control the television. It portrays movie shows, game shows, television programs in a wide spectrum of colors. It has this very cool feature that I like and saves a lot of power, where it shuts off after a certain period of time if no one's using it. If you would like to acquire this product, please click on the link below this video so you can enjoy this TV and I could get the credit for this product when you click on this link. Thank you. Now back to our show. Blade. Now, before Wesley Snipes, the actor, took on the role of Blade in reality, or the normal timeline, he expressed interest in another Marvel character that he wanted to play. Therefore, in my Phase 1, I would go with the rumored actors who was considered for that role before Wesley Snipes took on the Blade role, which were Richard Roundtree and LL Cool J. Since Richard Roundtree has more tenure than the other two actors, he's been in Hollywood for a long time, I would go with Richard Roundtree. Marvel, the Marvel character. I think the star for Marvel should be Matthew McConaughey. Special note, on the original MCU timeline, Annette Bening played Marvel. Madam Web, which is a controversial pick. My reasoning for putting her on my list is because of how much Stan Lee enjoyed the character, aka Cassandra Webb. My choices for Madam Web is Sharon Stone, actress, Cynthia Nixon, actress, or Bridget Fonda, actress. Sharon Stone is most famous for movies like Basic Instinct and Total Recall. She's a bit of a controversial character, so I don't think she should be my number one choice given the role she's played in the past, that being a villain. And it gets more interesting the more you delve into her resume. Cynthia Nixon, in my opinion, not a very well known actress, unless you or anybody else out there listening to this video was a fan of Sex and the City. You would then know Cynthia Nixon. Or Bridget Fonda. She was a star of one of my favorite movies, Kiss of the Dragon with Jet Li. Thoroughly enjoyed that movie. But my number one choice is Cynthia Nixon. Why? Not because I was a big fan of Sex and the City, but I do remember how in real life Cynthia ran for governor in New York against the Cuomos. And if anybody remembers that time period in real life, when it comes to running a campaign against the Cuomos, people would say they're very, how can I put this nicely, very intimidating family, and it's a very difficult thing to do. Yet she took on the challenge of doing it, and even though she didn't succeed in becoming governor, I respected her more for it. I think that kind of courage goes a long way, and she can give that to the fictional character of Madame Web if she was given a chance to play Madame Web. Wolverine, I think, should obviously be played by actor Jean-Claude Van Damme, given the actor's height and martial arts capability. I want to talk about a product. This product is called the Genius Sensor 1250W. It's a microwave. It's a product that I also own at home. It has several different features. A button for popcorn making, several preset features that can help you with cooking and microwaving food that most people enjoy to eat. Please click on the link below to acquire this product that I highly recommend. Of course, the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and Nick Fury. I'm not going to go too much into the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., but I'm going to focus on the leader for a minute and tell you who I think my number one choice should be for Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.'s Nick Fury, and that's David Hasselhoff. He was originally cast as the action actor for the role before Samuel L. Jackson. Other notes of consideration for side characters. Let's start with the first one of my interest, the Ancient One. I think the Ancient One should be played by James Hong, given how the comic book portrayed the Ancient One. For us comic book readers, I think James Hong would be perfect for the role. On a side note, in the main MCU timeline, Hollywood actress Tilda Swinton played the Ancient One for the MCU. Mordo, the villain of the Ancient One. I think the actors considered for Mordo should be Ray Liotta, who's someone who recently passed away, unfortunately, or Billy Zane, the star of The Phantom. My preferred choice would be Billy Zane, but either one of those actors would be fine for that role. Side note, in the current MCU timeline, Hollywood actor Chiwetel Ejiofor currently plays the role of Mordo in the MCU. Dr. Druid. Now, Dr. Druid isn't currently in the MCU. He is part of the Marvel comic books as a comic book character, of course. When I had saw in the normal timeline of the MCU, the movie Doctor Strange 2, Multiverse of Madness, and actor Bruce Campbell's role in it, I was very disappointed that Bruce Campbell didn't take on the character of Dr. Druid, which I thought was an interesting character in the Marvel comics. I think a blown opportunity to see Bruce Campbell's acting expertise in such a role was definitely missed for Doctor Strange 2, Multiverse of Madness. Therefore, my phase 1, I would like to have Dr. Druid played by actor Bruce Campbell. Wong. My preferred actor for him should be Ernie Reyes Jr. He was the star of the movie Last Dragon, as well as Ninja Turtles 2, The Secret of the Ooze. One of my all-time old classic favorites.
Side note, on the MCU real timeline, Wong is played by Benedict Wong.
Stick. I will admit, actor Scott Glenn did a good job playing the role of Stick. And if most people prefer that, to stay that way, I got no problem with that. However, if that wasn't possible for me to do in my phase 1 because of restrictions in time travel or anything like that, where I'm going with this experiment, I would go with actor Rutger Hauer, who passed away years ago, but would be around during this time period. He, before that, played in the movie Blind Fury as a sort of Stick-like character, so I know he could do this role. I'm not going to say who should be the one. I'm just giving you my 2 preferred choices for the role of Stick. Blade's daughter, I think, should have been introduced in the MCU a long time ago when it got started in reality. So for my phase 1, we're going to do that here. My preferred choices for the actress to play Blade's daughter are Lisa Turtle, Saved by the Bell, Keisha Knight Pullman from The Cosby Show, or Brandy Norwood from Moesha. My preferred choice is Keisha Knight Pullman from The Cosbys, since she has tenure. Selene. She's one of Marvel's oldest mutants, and given that my phase 1 is leaning towards the direction of the mutants, I think she should be on this list. My preferred actresses to play Selene are Sandra Bullock, Anna Jolie, or Kristen Davis from also Sex and the City. Preferred choice, Sandra Bullock. Ms. Marvel, aka Carol Danvers. My preferred actress to play Ms. Marvel is Julia Stiles from the Bourne movies. She also played in a movie I kind of enjoyed a couple years ago called O, which is from the story novel Othello.